All right. So are you ready to really boost your IELTS score? Because today we're going to be talking all about the speaking test. Specifically, part one. You know that quick fire round where they hit you with those personal questions, those
the easy ones.
Seemingly easy ones.
Right.
But they can actually be kind of tricky.
Yeah, they can.
If you want to really nail them.
Absolutely.
So to help us out today, we have an expert in IELTS.
Nice.
And we're also going to be taking a look at some really good source material from this podcast called IELTS Prep Talks.
Great.
With Ryan and Emily.
Okay.
And what's really cool about it is they do a mock examiner student kind of back and forth. So we actually get to hear good and bad answers.
That's really helpful.
And then break down why.
That's perfect.
So ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Okay, so the topic we're going to be focusing on today is holidays.
Everyone's favorite.
Right. I mean, who doesn't love thinking about holidays?
Absolutely.
So this is a topic that comes up a lot.
For sure.
In IELTS Speaking Part 1.
Yeah.
So let's start with the classic question. Do you like holidays?
Oh, my goodness.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Right?
Yeah.
But how do you answer this?
Right.
In a way that's not just yeah, I love holidays.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to just give a one-word answer and leave it at that.
Yeah.
So the basic answer that Ryan gives is, yes, I do. I really enjoyed a trip to the seaside last year. It was very refreshing.
Okay. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's a good starting point.
It's fine.
But it's a bit basic.
It's a little basic.
And the grammar's fine.
Yeah.
He's got a good sentence structure there.
Yeah.
But where it falls short is the vocabulary.
Okay.
He's not really showcasing a range of vocabulary,
Got it.
which is something the examiners are looking for.
Okay.
So let's see what the improved answer is. Okay, so Emily steps in and she says, yes, definitely holidays are an excellent way to rejuvenate, and they allow us to explore new and exciting destinations.
I like that word.
Yes, rejuvenate.
Rejuvenate.
Such a good word.
Yeah.
Shows a wider range of vocabulary
than
just refreshing.
Right.
Rejuvenate implies a deeper sense of renewal and revitalization. She also uses the word destinations.
Yeah.
Which is a more specific and interesting word than just places.
Okay, so it's all about just choosing your words.
Yes.
Carefully.
Exactly. Choosing those words that are going to make you stand out.
Right.
A little bit more.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's move on to the next question.
Okay.
So how often do you take holidays?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah?
How would you answer that?
I'd probably say maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
Okay.
Depending on, work and stuff.
Okay, well, Ryan's initial response is, I usually take a holiday twice a year.
That's pretty similar.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But again, Emily comes in with a slightly improved answer.
Okay.
She says, I aim to take 2 holidays per year, 1 shorter trip within my own country, and 1 longer vacation to an international destination. I believe in maintaining a healthy work-life balance.
Okay, so she's giving more detail.
Exactly. She's not just saying twice a year.
Yeah.
She's breaking it down a little bit more.
Okay.
She's also mentioning the work-life balance.
Yeah.
Which, again, adds a bit of depth.
Okay, cool. So it's not just about, the straight facts. It's about, the reason behind it.
Adding that extra layer.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
What is your favorite type of holiday?
Ooh.
What do you think Ryan says?
I'm going to guess a beach holiday.
You got it.
Yeah.
He says, I love beach holidays.
Classic.
Simple, straightforward.
Yeah.
But again, Emily takes it up a notch.
Okay. How does she do that?
She says, I'm particularly drawn to beach holidays, where I can relax on golden sands, swim in turquoise waters, and soak up the warm sunshine. There's nothing quite like reading a book under a palm tree with the gentle sound of the waves in the background.
Wow, she really painted a picture.
She did, right.
With her words.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's using sensory details. Instead of just saying beach, she's talking about the golden sands, the turquoise waters, the warm sunshine.
Okay, I see.
And she's also adding a personal touch by mentioning reading a book under a palm tree.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to remember. Try to personalize your answers a little bit.
Okay.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Do you prefer holidays with family or friends? That's a tough one.
Yeah. Is there a right answer there?
No, not really. It's about how you explain your preference. So Ryan's initial response is, I prefer holidays with family. I think it's important to bond with loved ones and create lasting memories. We went on a road trip last summer, and it was amazing. We visited so many beautiful places and had so many laughs together. It's something I'll always cherish. Sweet, right?
Yeah.
He's giving those specific details again.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
But Emily,
Yeah.
she takes a slightly different approach.
Okay.
She says, while I enjoy holidays with both family and friends, I have a slight preference for traveling with friends. It allows me to be more spontaneous and adventurous. We often try new activities and explore off-the-beaten-path destinations, which I find very exciting.
So they both kind of have pros and cons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just depends what you
Yeah.
prefer and how you explain it.
Okay.
All right, so next question. What's your dream holiday destination?
Ooh.
Ryan starts by saying, my dream holiday destination is Switzerland. I've always been fascinated by its stunning natural beauty, especially the snow-covered mountains and crystal-clear lakes. It seems like the perfect place to relax and enjoy the scenery.
Switzerland is beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
But of course, Emily's answer is going to be a little bit more impressive.
All right, so how does she top that?
She says, my dream holiday destination is Switzerland. Its breathtaking landscapes with snow-capped mountains, crystal-clear lakes, and picturesque villages have always captivated me. I'd love to take a scenic train ride through the Alps, go skiing in the winter, and simply soak up the stunning views. It would be an unforgettable experience.
Wow. Okay, she's
going for it.
pulling out all the stops.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, she's not just stating the destination.
Yeah.
She's creating a virtual journey for the examiner.
I see.
She's mentioning those specific activities she wants to do.
Right.
She's using vivid vocabulary.
Okay.
Like breathtaking, snow-capped, crystal clear, picturesque.
Yeah.
Really painting a picture.
But is that too much detail?
Good question.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fantastic for showcasing vocabulary and descriptive ability,
Yeah.
but you do have to be mindful of time
Okay.
in part one.
Right. Yeah.
You only have a limited amount of time for each question.
So it's about finding that balance.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. One more question.
Okay.
What do you usually do during holidays?
Oh, good question.
Yeah. What would you say?
Well, I really like to explore new places,
Okay.
but I also just like to relax sometimes, so it really depends.
Okay, well, this time, Ryan's answer is actually the stronger one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He says, during holidays, I love to travel to historical places and immerse myself in different cultures. I recently visited Rome and was blown away by its ancient ruins like the Colosseum and the Vatican City. I also enjoy reading novels and trying different cuisines. It's a great way to unwind and broaden my horizons.
Oh, I see.
So he's doing a few things well here.
Okay.
He's showcasing a variety of interests. Right. He's giving a specific example
Yeah.
of a historical place he's visited.
With details.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he's explaining why he enjoys these activities.
Right.
So he's not just listing things.
Okay.
He's giving a reason.
I see.
Emily's answer is good as well,
Okay.
but it's a little bit more generic.
Yeah.
She says, I usually spend my holidays relaxing at home, catching up with friends and family, and pursuing my hobbies,
Okay.
which is fine,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really give the examiner much to work with.
I see.
So in this case, Ryan's answer is the better one.
Okay. Interesting.
All right, so we've covered 6 common holiday-themed questions.
Yeah.
And we've seen how to craft impressive answers.
Yeah.
But what about the bigger picture?
Mm.
What are some general tips for acing part 1?
I'd love to know.
Well, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's one we're going to delve into deeper in the next part, in our deep dive.
Good.
But before we move on,
Yeah.
are there any key takeaways that stand out to you?
Yeah, I'm realizing that it's not enough to just answer the question.
Right.
It's about like using those opportunities to really showcase your vocabulary
Absolutely.
and your grammar
Exactly.
and like painting a picture with your words.
We're getting it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
So stay tuned for part 2.
We're going to be back with
Yeah.
more tips and tricks.
More strategies.
to ace the IELTS speaking test.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Me too. So welcome back
Okay, so we're back.
to the deep dive.
And, we're talking about all these IELTS tips,
Yes.
especially for part 1 of the speaking test.
Yes.
And it's really interesting because we're looking at these holiday questions.
Right.
But it's not really about holidays.
Exactly.
It's about, like,
It's about using the topic
using the topic.
as a way to show off your English skills.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
even though the examiner might be asking you about your favorite type of holiday,
Right.
they're not
They don't actually care.
interested in that.
They want to know.
They want to know if you can, like,
Can you use
the language.
a range of vocabulary?
Yeah.
Can you use complex grammar?
Yeah.
Can you speak fluently?
Right. So
And-
without like too many pauses
Exactly.
and ums and ahs.
Right. Yeah.
So let's look at some more examples
Okay. Sound
from this podcast.
Yeah.
So one of the questions that Emily asks Ryan is, what do you usually do during holidays?
Okay. Good one.
And what I thought was really cool
Yeah.
about Ryan's answer was he didn't just talk about one thing.
Right.
Like he mentioned traveling to historical places,
Yeah.
reading novels, trying different cuisines.
Okay. So he's showing a variety of
Yeah.
interests.
So it's not just like, oh, I only go to the beach.
Exactly. It makes him seem well-rounded,
Yeah.
which is good.
And I think that's what you want to do. You want
Project
to,
that image
project that image.
of being like
Like a well-rounded individual.
well-rounded, interesting person.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So then they switch roles.
Okay.
And Ryan asks Emily, what's your most memorable holiday experience?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And she had a great answer for that.
She did. She had a fantastic answer.
Yeah.
She talked about visiting Japan.
During cherry blossom season.
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember she used that word.
Mesmerizing.
Yeah, mesmerizing.
She said the trees were absolutely mesmerizing.
Yes.
Which is such a beautiful word. Beautiful word.
Yeah.
She also talked about exploring traditional tea houses,
Right.
learning about Japanese culture.
Yeah, it was like a mini
It was like a mini
travelogue
travelogue.
in her answer.
Yes, and it makes you want to go there.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very cool.
Mhm.
And, we keep talking about these examples.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember
Yes.
that the examiner is ultimately
Right.
listening for those 4 key elements.
Yes.
Fluency, vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation.
They want to see
Right.
how well you can express yourself.
So even if you're talking about
Yeah.
something fun like holidays,
Yes.
you still have to remember that.
It's still an exam.
It's an exam.
Right.
And you're being
You're being assessed
assessed.
on those 4 criteria.
Okay, so how can we make sure that we're like,
Right. So Emily and Ryan
yeah.
actually give some
Oh, yeah, what are their tips?
good tips.
Okay. Yeah.
So they emphasize the importance of answering
Yeah.
directly
Directly.
and clearly
Clearly,
without rambling
without rambling.
or going off on tangents.
Right, because you only have a limited amount of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They also talk about the importance of
Yeah.
using a variety of sentence structures,
Right.
which is good for grammar.
So don't just use like simple sentences.
Don't just say, I like holidays.
Yeah.
Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Use some complex sentences.
And they also mention vocabulary, like using
Advanced vocabulary.
more advanced words.
Yes, but not
But not forcing it.
not forcing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then it sounds
You don't want to sound like
unnatural.
you're trying too hard.
Right.
You want to sound natural and fluent.
Yeah.
So if you're not sure about a word,
Don't use it.
don't use it.
Yeah.
It's better to use a simpler word
That you're comfortable with.
that you know.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they talk about pronunciation,
Right.
which
yeah.
is so important.
Yeah, because if the examiner
They need to be able to understand you.
can't understand you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pronunciation is something you can practice.
Yeah, you can definitely practice that.
You can listen to native speakers.
Yeah. Listen and repeat.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so
So those are just some general tips
yeah, those are good tips.
for part 1.
But I think what would also be helpful
Yes.
is to talk about
Okay.
what not to do.
The pitfalls.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about pitfalls. Yeah.
All right, so one common mistake
Okay.
is giving one-word answers.
Oh, yeah, like just
Yes or no.
yes or no.
And then
Okay, that's it?
that's it.
Yeah.
That's not going to get you a high score.
No, because you're not really demonstrating any of your skills. So,
So even if it's a yes or no question,
yeah,
try to
elaborate a little bit.
elaborate a little bit.
Give a reason.
Give a reason.
Yeah. Okay. Another pitfall
Okay.
is memorizing answers.
Ooh.
Now, it might be tempting to try and
Script ever.
script your answers beforehand,
Yeah.
but it usually sounds
Unnatural.
and rehearsed.
And I bet the examiner can tell.
Oh, they can tell.
Right.
Yeah, they can tell.
Code.
So be prepared,
Yeah.
but also be
Spontaneous.
spontaneous,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you would in a normal conversation.
Right.
Okay. Another mistake is using overly formal language.
Okay.
Now, it's important to be polite
Yeah.
and respectful,
But you don't want to sound like you're
like a robot.
reading from a textbook.
Right.
Yeah.
It should be like a
Let's take
conversation.
it natural,
Yeah.
conversational.
Okay.
Another common pitfall
Okay.
is hesitating too much.
Oh, yeah. The ums and ahs.
The ums and ahs,
Yeah.
the likes.
Like,
Now, it's natural to pause and think,
Right.
but try to keep the conversation flowing.
As smoothly as possible.
As smoothly as possible.
Yeah, and I think, like, when I get nervous,
Yeah.
I tend to say, a lot.
We all do.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah.
But try to be aware of it.
Aware of it.
And if you need a moment to think,
Yeah.
just say,
What could you say?
let me think about that for a second.
Oh, that's good.
Or, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
That gives you a moment to
Gather your thoughts.
gather your thoughts.
Without just, like, stuttering.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Let's see, what else?
What other pitfalls are there?
Another one is using vocabulary
Yeah.
that you're not comfortable with.
Right.
So again, it's better to use
Simpler words.
simpler words
Accurately.
that,
Yeah.
than to try and use a fancy word
And mess it up.
and get it wrong.
Yeah.
And finally, be mindful of your body language.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So it's not just about
It's not just about
what you're saying.
what you say.
Yeah.
It's also about
How you're saying it.
how you present yourself.
Right.
So
right.
maintain eye contact.
Yeah.
Smile.
So be friendly.
Be friendly.
Yeah.
Use gestures naturally.
Yeah.
It shows that you're engaged
Engaged and confident.
and confident.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like you're actually having a conversation.
Exactly. Like you're enjoying the conversation.
Right. Okay.
So we've talked about
Yeah.
a lot of different things.
We have.
About
We've
you.
looked at examples.
Yeah.
We've talked about general tips.
We've talked about pitfalls to avoid.
Yeah.
So before we move on to part 3,
Yeah.
let's just recap
Okay.
some key takeaways.
I'm ready.
All right. So first and foremost,
Yeah.
remember that part 1
Yeah.
is about demonstrating your ability
Yeah.
to communicate
Communicate
effectively
effectively.
in everyday English.
Yay.
It's a warm-up
Warm up. Yeah.
for the more challenging
The gooder
parts
parts.
of the test,
Yeah.
but it's also an opportunity
Yeah.
to make a good first impression.
To make a strong first impression.
Exactly. So
Right.
focus on
Okay.
answering
Directly.
clearly, and with sufficient detail.
With enough detail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Use a variety of sentence structures.
Okay.
Showcase your vocabulary,
Yeah.
but don't force it.
Enforce it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And don't be afraid
Yeah.
to share personal anecdotes
Yeah.
and connect your answers
Connect them to your own experiences.
to your own experiences.
Yeah.
It makes it more interesting.
Yeah. It makes it more engaging.
Exactly.
All right. And most importantly,
Yes.
practice.
Practice, 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 practice.
The more you practice,
Yeah.
the more confident you'll feel.
The more confident and comfortable.
Exactly.
You know what? I used to be so scared
Yeah.
of the speaking part.
I know a lot of people are, but
yeah.
now you're feeling
Feeling better.
more confident.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
stay tuned.
For part 3,
Yes.
where we're going to be
We'll explore.
exploring even more strategies
Yes.
for acing the IELTS.
Awesome. All right. So we're back for the final part
Part 3.
of our deep dive into IELTS speaking, part 1.
Okay, and we've been talking about
Yes.
all these different strategies and techniques,
Yeah.
and tips and tricks.
Right.
And I feel like we've
Yeah.
covered a lot,
We have.
but I want to make sure that
We're really giving our listeners
okay,
that solid game plan.
a game plan,
Okay.
for success.
So what's the overall strategy here?
yeah, like what are the examiners really looking for?
So ultimately,
Yeah.
they want to see
Yeah.
how well you can handle
Right.
a conversation
A conversation.
in English.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
They want to see.
So it's not about
Yeah.
knowing all these facts and figures
No.
about holidays.
It's not a test of your holiday knowledge.
Right. It's really just about
It's about your ability to communicate
communicate.
in English.
Right.
So think of it like this.
Okay.
You're painting a picture
Okay.
with words,
I like that.
and your language
Yeah.
is the brush.
Yeah. Okay. So
So how can we make that painting?
yeah. How do we make our paintings stand out?
Stand out. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, first of all,
Yeah.
use a wide range of vocabulary.
Okay.
Don't just settle for those basic words like good or
Good.
bad.
Good or bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Push yourself to use
Yeah.
more descriptive language.
So instead of saying, I had a good time on my holiday,
Yes.
you could say something like, I had an unforgettable experience.
Exactly. Or
Oh.
it was a truly magical trip.
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
So it's about adding the
Adding more color to your painting.
To the painting.
Okay. Now let's talk about grammar.
Okay.
Just like using a variety of colors
Yeah.
makes a painting more interesting.
Yeah.
Using a variety of sentence structures
Right?
can make your speaking more sophisticated.
So instead of just using simple sentences all the time,
Yeah, try to mix in
shut up.
some complex sentences.
Okay, so give me an example.
Okay, so instead of saying,
Yeah.
I like beach holidays,
Yeah.
you could say, although I enjoy all types of holidays, I find beach holidays to be the most relaxing.
I see.
Right.
You've added more detail.
You've given a reason.
Yeah.
You've used a more complex sentence structure.
Okay. And what about pronunciation?
Okay, pronunciation.
Yeah.
Practice speaking clearly
Clearly.
and naturally.
Naturally.
Pay attention to your intonation
Intonation.
and stress.
Okay.
You can listen to native speakers.
It get a sense of
the
rhythm and the flow of the language.
Okay, so it's not about being perfect.
No.
It's just about
being
clear,
and
natural.
Engaging.
Engaging, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so is there like a specific strategy?
There is a method
Okay.
called the PAR method.
P-A-R.
PAR.
What's P-A?
It stands for
Point answer.
point answer. Okay, so tell me more.
So it's a simple way to structure your answers. So first you state your point, which is your direct answer.
Direct answer?
To the question.
Okay.
Then you provide an answer that elaborates on your point.
Okay.
And finally you give a reason. Or an explanation to support your answer.
So like if the question is, do you like holidays?
Yeah.
I could say point. Yes, I absolutely love holidays.
Good.
They give me a chance to relax and escape from my daily routine.
Perfect.
And reason. For example, last year I went on a beach holiday and it was exactly what I needed to recharge my batteries.
Excellent.
Okay, so I'm like building a mini argument.
You're building a mini argument
to support my statement.
Exactly.
You know, I wish I had known about this PAR method.
Right.
Like when I was
it would have been helpful
preparing for my IELTS.
Yeah.
Because I would just like ramble.
I know a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
They just kind of go off on tangents.
Yeah, and then by the end I'd be like,
and you're not even sure.
Did I even answer the question?
If you answer the question.
So this is a really good way to
keeps you focused.
Keep you focused.
And organized.
Yeah.
All right, so
any final words of wisdom?
Final words of wisdom.
Before we wrap up?
Just remember, the IELTS speaking test is about communication.
Communication.
So relax.
Relax.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
And let your personality shine through.
Yeah, it's not about being like a robot.
No.
It's about being a human.
A human.
Yeah.
Who can communicate effectively.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about.
A lot to think about.
And hopefully they're feeling confident.
Hopefully they're feeling more prepared.
And prepared.
For the IELTS. For the IELTS.
Speaking test.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us today.
It was my pleasure.
On the deep dive.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.